Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly for pricing, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we are discussing the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Datejust 41. This is reference 126300. The Datejust 41 came out in 2016. A year later, you were able to get it, as you see here, in stainless steel. Since 2018, we've had this little distinctive double crown dial with a big crown at the top and one little crown between Swiss and made. So you can get a good sense of when these watches were made just by looking at the dial. The timepiece is 41 millimeters in 904L stainless steel. It's 11.8 millimeters thick. It's 47.5 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, and if we include the end links of the Oyster bracelet, the total distance across the wrist is 51.3 millimeters with a 21 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Pop the clasp open, throw the watch on my wrist. My wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference. You can see the watch wears well. It's broad, it's flat, it has a conical bezel, it slides easily underneath the cuff. It does have a significant wingspan across the wrist, so you're going to want a wrist of at least 15 centimeters circumference to wear this watch well. It's a dress watch, it's a sports watch, it's both at once. Taking a quick look at the dial, you can see that it is fully loomed, and we'll do a quick loom shot right here before we transition to ergonomic elements. From the dial down to the end link, we have a conforming end link for a more integrated look as it joins the case. You can see the link matches the slope of the lugs and the curve of the case. We have the 3-link Oyster style bracelet, which is the sports watch bracelet at Rolex. We have a little bit of a taper. Outer faces are polished. The shoulders are satinated. The center links are a bit offset and polished. You can see that the watch includes a set of removable links fixed by screws, and then inside the clasp there are 3 divots drilled internally. You can see 2 of them right there. You use your strap tool to change the anchoring point of the bracelet inside of the clasp, and then you've got this snap in, snap out, easy link, tool-free adjustment that allows you to make 5 millimeter incremental adjustments without any tools. The Easy Link is the equivalent to adding or removing one full-sized sizable link. Rolex makes its own bracelets, cases, and clasps, and it makes its own steel. It uses 904L steel, and this is a type of steel that is particularly resistant to corrosion, especially corrosion caused by salt, so you do not need to rinse this watch after exposure to seawater. The crown, you can see that little slash means it's a twin lock crown in steel, screw down crown, 100 meters water resistant. We just saw the loom shot earlier, and you saw that it's Rolex's own Chromolite blue loom. The dial base is black lacquer, glossy and gleaming. We have white on black printing, a applied Rolex logo, as well as applied indices. Logo, indices, and hands are all made of white gold for longevity and resistance to tarnish. We have a Cyclops eye magnifier for the date, and the watch has 2 subsidiary setting modes. We've got this hacking or stop seconds function, so you can set against a reference time. Then we've got a quick set for the date. Underneath the screwed-in Oyster-style caseback, we have Rolex caliber 3235, automatic winding with a 70-hour power reserve. It uses a Liga-formed escapement that Rolex calls Chronergy, which is effectively Rolex's answer to the Omega coaxial. The winding rotor energizes the 70-hour power reserve, and it does so using a rotor bearing. Previous 3135 movements used a jeweled staff. The new rotor bearing is more durable. The watch also features a thinner mainspring barrel wall and a larger mainspring than previous Rolex single barrel automatics like the 3135. So that's how this watch achieves extra power reserve. It has the quick set, it has the hacking, it beats at 8 beats per second, it pivots on 31 joules. It is a COSC certified Swiss chronometer. Rolex takes the chronometer certified movement, cases it up, tests it in 6 positions, and asserts that it will keep time to within -2 + 2 seconds per 24 hours as a fully assembled watch. That is the modern justification for the term superlative chronometer. The watch also has a full balance bridge and a free sprung index, which makes it relatively tough against shock. The free sprung balance also makes the watch easier to regulate, the better to pass the chronometer test, and it uses a handmade Breguet over coil hairspring that allows the watch to keep very consistent time in any physical position with respect to gravity. That hairspring is also made of blue oxidized niobium zirconium that gives the watch immense anti-magnetic qualities. Rolex even makes small elements in the movement like the shock protection, Paraflex, and the lubricants, which are all Rolex in-house. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.